Hey, I'm Danny, and today I want to look at Awesome Golf. This is a piece of software that I've kind of ignored because for whatever reason in my mind, it just seemed a little more cartoony, a little less realistic. And I thought the thing I was really going after when I was playing sim golf was realism. It turns out I really like Awesome Golf, and I want to show you some of the things that I like about it. It's a lot of fun. It has some really easy to understand visualizations of club data and ball data. And overall, I really enjoy playing on the range, virtual golf as well. So I'm going to show you some of the things I like about Awesome Golf, and maybe if you haven't seen it, you can try it out as well. You can buy an annual subscription, you can buy a lifetime subscription, or you can buy it monthly for $14.99 a month, which makes it really accessible. I got a free trial with it with my Rapsodo, and I'm trying it with the Square also, and your launch monitor might come with a free trial too, or a limited license. I like it with the Square a little bit more than the Rapsodo because of the way it shows the club data, and I'll show you what that looks like on the Square versus the Rapsodo. So right now we're looking at the overview mode in the driving range. You get some data points on the peripheral of the screen, but you can also look at this in a detail mode. And if I go to detail, you'll see all of the club data, all of the ball data with a little inset of the driving range. But generally, I prefer to play like this. And one of the things I really like about the driving range here is shot over shot, you get to see how your shots have been stacking up one to the next. And you get to see all of these shots in 3 or 4 different views we'll look at here in just a second. Push that one way out to the right. I tried to open my face up to get a little more height there. You can see in the bottom right, my club path was maybe a little bit out to in. My face was open, and so I pushed that one way out to the right. If I try to hit a draw here, you'll see how that data looks a little bit different. So in the draw, you can see my path is a little bit inside to out. My face, which is the white arrow, is pointing a little bit left, and so that ball curves from right to left. I really like how easy that is to understand. Same thing with the spin data. Really easy to understand which direction my ball's spinning. We'll hit a couple more here. So as I mentioned, shot over shot, you can see how these persist on screen. I really like that as you change things about your swing or as you try to shape your shots, you can see how things are changing as you adjust your grip or as you adjust your swing during the session. I'm gonna try to hit a fade here, work this one from left to right. Okay, more than a fade, we got a slice on that one, but you get the idea. For whatever reason, that didn't track my club data. You can see there's no orange arrow. So I don't know if I was just a little bit outside the sweet spot for the Square to pick that up. All right, I'm gonna hit a few shots here with 5-wood now. That's a good first shot, dead straight. You can see the orange arrow and the white arrow, both pretty much dead straight. That's what I'm hoping for. Don't get that real often. A little bit out to the left. And these yardages, I'm at altitude, so I wouldn't see these kind of carry distances or total distances at sea level. It's really hard for me to end on a bad shot. So one more. Let's try to get this one out to the right. That's more like it. All right, so the standard view, this is what we're looking at. And if we want to look at these shots a little bit differently, there's a couple different views. This one kind of shows me an aerial, kind of bird's eye view. Well, not quite bird's eye, but angled view. I really like this. Shows me where I'm landing, where I'm rolling out. And then we can take a detailed look at the rollout to see where our balls are landing. It's kind of nice. This gives me a better idea of, the left to right dispersion. In this case, everything's pretty close to the center. I'm pretty happy with this. We can also set how firm the ground is to adjust our rollout. If you play on a soft course versus something a little firmer, you can dial that in. And then also we can look at all of our data in this detail view instead of the overview. If you prefer to look at all of your shot metrics, all of your club data and ball data, attack angle, club path, go ahead and hit one more here while we're in this view so you can see how these register real time. caught that one fat, so that's going to come up a little short. But kind of a fun, this is kind of a fun view to play on. See all the data, see that view. And we can toggle through if you want to look at the default view of this instead. All right, so if I want to hit a shot in just the normal view while I'm also in the detail mode, I can do that as well. That was a little bit low, a little low draw. Kind of nice to see all that data and the driving range view at the same time. Really a big fan of the driving range specifically with Awesome Golf. Though the virtual golf, it's a lot of fun too. When I upgraded my Rapsodo to the lifetime membership, came with a 6-month trial for Awesome Golf, which is really the only reason I actually tried it. And then I decided to try it with the square launch monitor, and it's even better with the square because it shows you all of that club data. I'll show you what this looks like with the Rapsodo. You don't get the orange arrow for the club path, so you don't get the same visual representation of what your club's doing, what your face is doing. You just get one white arrow, the direction of the ball leaving the club, I believe. Still super nice though, still all of this other stuff, all the different view modes, the virtual golf play, it all feels the same. You just don't get quite as meaningful shot data with the Rapsodo hooked up, and we'll look at that next. All right, so now I've got the Rapsodo hooked up to Awesome Golf, and I've got my 5-wood. We'll hit a few shots here and I'll show you how the data that we get isn't quite the same as when we hook it up to the square. Takes a little while for that shot to register with the Rapsodo. Hit that a little fat, so I didn't get everything out of it, but all we get is that white arrow in the bottom right. We don't get the orange arrow that shows us the club path versus the white for the face. We just get the direction of ball travel there. I'll hit a couple more. That one felt like it was going to be way out to the left. No, not so far out to the left. Just a little bit. Now if we go look at the detail view, we'll see that the Rapsodo doesn't pass in all of the same stuff. I don't get club path or face to path in the bottom. I don't get a tack angle. The Rapsodo app gives me those data points natively if I'm playing in the Rapsodo range, but they don't make it through here to Awesome Golf, so I just get really the ball data. I really enjoy playing on the driving range here, and I feel like it is a great way to understand what's happening with your swing, especially if you have a square launch monitor. But the Rapsodo, it also works pretty well if you're okay losing out on some of that club data. You still get the same experience with the ball flight and the tracking and the experience overall. All right, so we're gonna play some virtual golf here on Awesome Golf. We're gonna play an 18-hole course. There's not a ton of options here, but in my opinion, they're really fun courses to play. Let's go ahead and just say 18-hole stroke play individual. Mulligan decision time. We have 5 seconds to decide if we want to take a mulligan or not. We can pick our tees based on how far we're typically driving. I'll go with Pentagon. 545 yard par 5 to start with. So it gives us a flyover. And what I really like about Awesome Golf is it's really easy to aim where you want to shoot. So I can just drag the screen back and forth. And in the mini map, it shows you your yardages. So I know 200 and 250. All right, so this is a pretty safe hole for me to hit driver. Not too much danger out to the left or right, so I'll go ahead and hit our first shot here with driver. And we'll play a few holes and I'll show you what I like about the Awesome Golf virtual golf. All right, so that first shot, we got 271 carry, rolled out to 293. You can see the club path, the orange arrow, and the white arrow is the club face, so out to the right a little bit. I've got 257 yards left. I'll go ahead and hit my 5-wood here. That fairway gets pretty skinny up there. I should be able to get past those bunkers on the right, which would be a danger zone otherwise. All right, 5-wood. Let's see what we can do. Felt pretty good. Just trickled out to the left there. You can see I had a severely inside to out swing and club face closed to the path, so hook is what I ended up with there. I don't know. I think it might be more of a draw. 28 yards left from a poor lie. This is admittedly probably my worst range. Let's give it a shot here. I've got my 60 degree in hand. Oh, and it stopped. All right. So no putting here on Awesome Golf, which is a little bit of a shame, but to be honest, most of the time I'm wanting to hit my driver and irons. If I want to putt, I'll go into the Square Native app or I'll play some GS Pro. Okay, next hole here, 364 yards. I've got a lot of bunkers here. So let's see what we're dealing with when the mini map comes up to show us some yardages. So mini map, we can see 250 yards. So if I hit driver, I'm taking a gamble. There's a big chance I'm going to end up in one of those bunkers to the right or the left with driver. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hit 3-wood? No, I'm going to hit driver. We'll take a gamble here. Go big or go home. I got a no read on that one. I might have had that a little bit forward towards the hitting zone. Felt pretty solid. Look at that, right up the middle. Split those bunkers, maybe cleared them even. 288 yards, 290 yards. Next shot here, 78 yards to the pin. Oh, that's a wedge. Give this a shot. I'm gonna try my 60 degree again. Carrying over that bunker in the middle, this is a really intimidating shot for me. 9 times out of 10, I'll end up right in the bunker I'm trying to carry over. It's going to be out to the right, but that's okay. I'll take that. 2-putt zone. Now, I don't know if there's a way to customize those distances. I haven't seen a way. I think you're kind of dealing with whatever Awesome Golf has set up for you with that 1-putt ring and the 2-putt area. But to be honest, back to the idea of just having fun with virtual golf, kind of like that. It's nothing for me to fuss with. It is what it is. I'm just hitting irons and drivers and fairway woods to get as close as I can. Not a big deal for me when I'm just trying to have a fun round here. So that's a quick overview of Awesome Golf. I know we're going to go real deep. If you're interested in kind of a more in-depth comparison, Awesome Golf versus anything else or specific features, let me know in the comments down below. But I think overall, as far as just the aspect of having fun on the sim with no fuss, it's a really great app. Super easy to set up, super simple, not a lot of stuff to dial in, and really useful data visualizations. I love the range. I love the way it shows me all my shots. I love the way I can look at all of the different angles at the range. I even like the virtual golf experience. Even though there's not that many courses, they're really fun to play. The unlimited mulligans and the interface around that is really easy. I've probably worn out my screen by pushing that mulligan button in that one spot so many times. But again, for me, that's really why I want to practice golf on the sim. I want to play a virtual round. And I want to practice that 40-yard shot that's really hard for me until I get it right. So that's a huge win for me. Super easy mulligans, low intimidation factor, a lot of fun to play virtual golf, a lot of fun to play in the range. I haven't actually touched any of the other game modes yet, but I'll give them a shot. I think the big drawback is you can't do putting even if your launch monitor supports it. But, you know, for a quick round, for just spending a little bit of time trying to work on ball striking or something like that, I think it's fantastic. If you've used Awesome Golf, if you have any tips for me, things I haven't dialed in or some customizations I'm not aware of, please let me know. I love GS Pro, but honestly, hooking up my gaming PC, it adds a layer of complexity that when I've only got a little bit of time, I don't really want to deal with it. And so I find myself playing on the driving range on Awesome Golf more than anything else lately. It's got some of the most helpful visual feedback, super easy to get going. I think it's pretty cost effective and has some flexible subscription options. If you want to see anything more in depth, or if you want to see a comparison of the Awesome Golf software versus the Square software, or Rapsodo or GS Pro, let me know in the comments below and I can do a deeper dive. I'm Danny with Garage Golfers. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next one.